Hey everybody, welcome back to Star Trek Recovery. I'm Mike, and in this video we're going to be going over the top 5 problems with Star Trek Picard, Episode 4. Number 5. The Warp Rocket. In this episode, our hero ship has a sequence where it goes into warp drive, and for some reason, modern Star Trek always has to make warp drive look like you're going through some wormhole thing with weird flashy stuff going by all the time. In the original Star Treks, warp drive is generally seen as kind of like a fast but gentle effect. You see whether they're stars or dust or whatever zipping by, you see it just zipping by, and it's always just like this calm sort of effect. But in these recent Star Treks, it's like you're traveling through a hurricane, and there's just stuff going by everywhere as fast as it can go, and it's just horrible. It just looks like some rocket ship going through. It doesn't look like warp drive. Do we really need these effects to help us know that the ship is traveling really fast? I don't think so. It just looks ridiculous. Number 4. The Head Chop. Now, I understand that Star Trek has always had some elements of violence in it, and that's used for telling a story. But I thought the chopping off of the Romulan senator's head was just excessive. Why use that particular technique? It doesn't really add to the story. Star Trek should be something that you can watch with your family. I got into Star Trek because I would watch it with my mom when I was like 8 years old or whatever. And we would watch Star Trek The Next Generation together, and from there I discovered we had some recordings of the original Star Trek on VHS, and I watched that, and that's how I got into that series. So Star Trek has always been something that the family can enjoy together. My family would all watch Voyager together. It was something that we could enjoy as a family, and that doesn't mean it has to be a kids show, but at least it was moderate in its violence and things like that. But Star Trek Picard, I can't watch that with my kids. I can't watch that with my family. Not only that, but this particular scene was bad because of the color of the Romulan blood. We've seen Romulan blood in Next Generation and other series, and it's not this neon green color. Number 3. The Romulan Bird of Prey. As we went throughout this episode, we heard references to somebody capturing this old Romulan Bird of Prey and using it, and towards the end of the episode we finally get to see it. And it doesn't look very much like an actual Romulan bird of prey from the era they're claiming. I mean, it kind of has the same general shape, but as far as the details go, it's not very accurate to what we've seen before. It has green glowy domes on the front, it's got all sorts of weird texture-y things all over, and lights, and just stuff that was never on the original model, and doesn't look at all like the ship originally did. Now, I guess you could suppose that maybe they modified it over the years, but this was clearly just an attempt at fan service, and not a very good one because it doesn't look like the thing they're trying to include in the series, and also, why include it in the first place? It makes no sense for them to acquire this 100-year-old-ish Romulan bird of prey to use it to fight this battle, and then it's just gone. What was the point? There was no point in having this ship here. Maybe if this ship had been some long-term, maybe it was chasing them throughout the series, and we see it occasionally, or catch glimpses of it, and then finally there's this big epic battle, but there was no epic battle because the stakes weren't very high. They were just, oh, the ship showed up, now we have to fight it, and then they easily destroyed it, and it was done. So what was the point of using this ship? Number 2. The Hot Elf. No group of intrepid fantasy explorers would be complete without the Hot Elf.
Hot Elf! Ready the brain-cooking pot!
Yes, Probabilitor.
You could pick this character up, drop it into Lord of the Rings, and nothing would look out of place. Even the look of this character and his name, Elnor, looks suspiciously like Elrond from Lord of the Rings. You can make of it what you will, but why is this character here? Just change his outfit, cut his hair. This is Star Trek, not Lord of the Rings. I'm declaring this analysis a success.
The game is over. Excelsior whatever.
And now, for our dishonorable mentions. First off, we have the Romulan Relocation. This episode starts us off with a visit to the Romulan Relocation planet. Problem is that this is entirely dependent upon the destruction of Romulus, which comes from the 2009 movie and is not part of real Star Trek. Stop trying to make the destruction of Romulus happen. It's not going to happen. Next, we have the Emergency Hospitality Hologram. As I said in a previous video, this ship is lousy with holograms, with no holographic emitters in sight. So, apparently, now there's such a thing as a hospitality emergency that requires an emergency hospitality hologram. This is getting ridiculous, and it's dumb, okay? Just stop already. Just stop with the emergency whatever's hologram. You can't just take emergency, put another noun in there, and then say hologram and have it be something. That's not how the EMH of Voyager worked, okay? Though, I am going to make a prediction. I predict that before this series is done, we're going to see an emergency defecation hologram and an emergency hologram. But what this show really needed was an emergency creative hologram, because this show is a creative emergency. And now, for the number one problem with Star Trek Picard, Episode 4, what do we call this one? The sliding sequence? The romantic sliding. The romantic sliding. In this sequence, the half-android twin and the super secret Romulan police infiltrator guy are having a serious discussion, and then all of a sudden they're having a romantic slide down a Borg hallway for some reason. What? Why? It doesn't make any sense. The super secret Romulan police spy decides to show the half-android twin how to have a fun time by sliding down a hallway for some reason, and then they make out in the end. That's about it. I really don't know what's going on here anymore. This is just completely nutso. What is the function of this hallway on the Borg ship anyway? Do the Borg go and just have romantic slides all day long? Or maybe they do curling. That's it. That's it. This hallway is a Borg curling ring. Is that what they call those? Curling rings? I don't know. Hold on a second. Curling is a sport that is played. Called the rocks across the ice curling sheet toward the house. Curling sheet. That's it. We got it. Okay. So apparently the Borg love curling, and they have a built-in curling sheet in their ship. That's my explanation, and I'm sticking to it because it makes more sense than this freaking episode. Well, those are the top 5 problems with Star Trek Picard Episode 4. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like and a share. And if you spotted any other problems, make sure you leave them down in the comments. That's it for this video, and make sure you keep boldly going.